Ellen Daly, I am so excited to chat with you. You've had such an interesting career trajectory. And you guys won for Go There, Facebook Lives around the world. How does it feel to win a Shorty Award?
It's so exciting. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank our incredible leadership team, Eric Weisbrod, Melissa Matani, Amaya Pense, and Jisoo Park. Without those folks, it would never happen. So thank you.
It's always a team effort, right? I mean, especially with these types of broadcasts. I mean, you're covering stories here in a more in-depth way that seems like they wouldn't necessarily make it to traditional broadcast or newscast. What is the Go There lens? What constitutes an important story for you all?
Well, we really try to touch 5 senses. We want to take you around the world. The really cool thing about working at CNN is we have journalists across the globe, and they all have phones in their pocket, so they can bring you with them. And we really want you to be immersed in what it feels like to be at the front lines of any given story at any given time. And wow, we've had quite the year.
You have, I mean, thousands to millions of viewers on each respective video. You've seen real success here, which is, as a millennial journalist, it's very cool to see. When creating this show, the viewers obviously come first. Who are you serving? Who did you create Go There for?
We created Go There for our audiences. We have incredible audiences on Facebook. They are highly, highly engaged. They want to know more. They are really well educated. They are read up on stories, and they want to know not only kind of the facts of the day, but what it feels like to be on the ground. And we really communicate that to our journalists when they're reporting back to themselves in the field. That's why you see a lot of them shooting themselves on their phones. It's kind of a mix of this POV style journalism and documentary feel. And I think that's really what's differentiated us from other shows in the space.
So with travel somewhat hindered for the foreseeable future, where do you see Go There headed?
Well, luckily for us, we do have journalists stationed all across the world. You'll see tonight we're coming to you from 7 different places in America, from South Dakota to the border of Tennessee and Virginia. We just are really lucky in the sense that CNN is so invested in journalism. We are the Kleenex of journalism, and we are everywhere. And so, you know, whether it's David Culver going back to Wuhan for the first time when they reopen, like we're still there and we're still going.
So prior to joining CNN, you served in roles at Bloomberg and ABC News. And I was really interested to read that at Bloomberg, you helped to develop a digital video strategy, and it led to its #1 ranking in business video. I think some would call you a news girl wonder. I'm curious as to what you would like to see more of or less of in a newsroom.
More of and less of. That's an interesting question. I would like to, well, part of our success at Bloomberg, I would say, by the way, that was led by Andrew Morris and Courtney Coop, 2 people I still work very closely with at CNN. So the band is still together, which is very exciting. And we work together at ABC as well. You know, we put digital first. We thought, you know, it shouldn't be this kind of let's put together a TV package and see what's left over for a digital audience. That's never been the approach. We've always put the digital, social, mobile audience at the forefront when we're creating a story. And, you know, if it's a good piece of journalism, it should be able to be distributed to multi locations, including the linear screen. So I'd like to see that approach continue, I would say. And I think in the last year, I've seen CNN like really, really transform to this mobile first space. Every single reporter we've worked with has really embraced shooting themselves on their phone, and they're really using their phone in creative ways. So I hope that continues and we see more innovation in that space.
I've seen a real shift there.
Sorry, go ahead.
I've seen a real shift there. I think before it used to, for traditional journalists, it used to feel taboo almost. And now it's at the forefront of everything.
Well, I think there's a realization that there are real audiences in these places, and they're really passionate and they're engaged. And so it's really, really exciting for our correspondents to see their hard work and their reporting be recognized and shared across the globe.
Is there a moment from Go There in this past year that has really stood out to you as something that you're proud of, or something that feels really, really remarkable?
Yeah, I think David Culver's viral hit, it had over 200 million views when he first went inside Wuhan, was very eye opening because we were way ahead of the curve on coronavirus. We were covering it, long before other outlets were on it. And I think David has really just done this beautiful job of kind of marrying mobile social journalism, and while keeping those core tenets of like facts first and original reporting. So that was a highlight to see that video take off and get the recognition it deserved.
So your career, I mean, you've always been at the forefront of digital and social. What does it mean to be honored as one of the best to do it?
That's It's just so exciting. I always knew that myself and my colleagues who are in this space were kind of on the cutting edge of where the next generation of nonfiction storytelling was coming from, and what
Mhm.
journalism was going to look like in the future. And it's just so cool to see it actually come to life and be recognized.
You've done it in such a beautiful way. I love watching Go There. Um, I'm curious to if winning a Shorty Award changes anything in your space. We talk to a lot of small boutique agencies or digital agencies, and it's more clear to me how winning a Shorty Award affects them. I don't even really know how winning a Shorty would affect you at CNN. So if you could elaborate on that, that would be helpful.
Um, it was incredibly, incredibly exciting for the entire digital organization. Uh, you know, we win all kinds of awards at CNN, but to be considered part of the internet space and the internet elite, I think is just really like, it's inspiring. And it's inspiring for the young journalists who are looking for jobs in our space, and are in the process of being recruited. It gives us clout in a way that we've never had before.
A lot of my peers that are in investigative news or that are in even like the written world, I find or I feel their anxiety to be first to a story, especially on Twitter. What is your pulse on where that sort of journalism is going, and how do you, as a producer, sort of navigate the anxiety and first mover advantage of it all?
I think I need a little bit more explanation. So, like, you
Yeah.
mean like from an editorial perspective, like writers, how they
Well, I think
versus
anybody,
videographers?
no, I think anybody in news, whether it's editorial or broadcast, they feel the pressure of being first all the time,
Ah,
and
I see what you're saying.
especially with social media and like feeling glued to their phones. I'm wondering how you navigate that as a producer.
Yeah, it's funny because ever since we've transitioned to work from home,
Mhm.
some of our processes have had to slow down. Obviously, we're not attached to servers. Things are taking a little bit longer. We're still doing it. We're still cranking out a show every night. But these guys are so, so passionate about their stories that they are just so plugged in. And I find that like having that sense of purpose now more than ever is more important. I
Mm.
don't know if it's about being first, but I think it's about telling like the right story in the right way at the right time. And our team, because they want to be there and because I want to be there, we're just tuned in naturally. We're curious.
Some of my friends in news told me they haven't seen these kinds of ratings since the 90s during COVID. What are you seeing in the news world right now?
What am I seeing in the news world right now? Well, I mean, obviously, our viewership since January, since David's hit, has been really unprecedented in the Facebook space. So I guess we could akin that to ratings, if you will. I think we've seen longer engagement times. You've seen ebbs and flows of like interest in the news, interest in Q&A, interest in live. But we're always like tweaking and adjusting to what our audience is looking for. Just on Friday, Bill Weird filed a piece for us on environmentalism in a post-COVID world, and just kind of like doing a quick assessment on, you know, what is going on with the ozone layer, et cetera, et cetera. And that got over 2 million views over the weekend. So I think there's a double down on curiosity on like what the world will be like. And so yes, I think those ratings will continue to go up in the places that people are curious. We just have to follow that curiosity.
Follow the curiosity. I feel like there's not a better note to end on, right? Thank you so much for your time, Cullen.
Thank you.